Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident Tinkerer and Metarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now this week, as if the Ultraman collaboration through this month hasn't been enough to hype up December, we have yet another event incoming to hype up the event and the holidays even more, with a couple of well-known fan favorites and a particularly interesting choice dating all the way back to the days of Medarot 5. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what they did announce this week for Home for the Holidays. Up next, and starting up, are the Gacha Banners that will be highlighting this week. First of which is QUN0 Aurora Queen with a kit of triple freeze shot, biped legs, and the snow type leg ability. So this will definitely put her a step above the rest, as snow type terrain is a very unique terrain to have a match on, and almost no terrains except for legs with this ability have a particular match on it. On top of that, we also have RBY0 Pigeon Blood with a kit of Gravity Guard, Destroy, Counter Guard, Flight Legs, and the Brilliance leg ability. So right from start, this Ruby type makes it clear that if she's not using shields, you're not allowed to either. But on top of these two that are incoming for the event, we have not one, not two, but this week 5 spotlight banners that will be showcasing this week as well. Those 5 models are KBT-01 Metabe with a kit of Missile, Rifle, Gatling, Biped Legs, and the Charge Shot leg ability. KWG-01 Rokusho with a kit of Radar Sight, Sword, Hammer, Biped Legs, and the Charge Fight leg ability. NAS-01 Saint Nurse with a kit of Perfect Guard, Perfect Guard, Double Count Repair, Biped Legs, and the Fix Plus leg ability. So already right from start, 3 very popular fan favorites to anyone who's played the games or watched the anime. But not only just these 3, the other 2 that we have highlighting as spotlights are UZS-0 Infinitus, the Helicoprion Shark type, with a kit of Destroy, Double Assassin, Sea Legs, and the Dead or Alive leg ability, which fits very well into his kit of guaranteed hits and guaranteed crits with the Assassin skill. And last but not least, ERD-0 Teodora Barrel, the Emerald type, with a kit of Gunpowder Guard, Double Rebirth, Flight Legs, and the Brilliance leg ability. So this particular bot loves to make it clear that if someone goes down, she's going to make it her absolute priority to bring them back on the field and ensure that the fight can continue. So as you see, we have a lot of rerun bots this week as spotlight banners, and because they are spotlight banners, I do want to highlight the fact that they are already in the permanent banner, with the exception of Pigeon Blood and Aurora Queen. So even though using rubies for these banners may not be recommended, I will not dictate whether or not your personal preference on how badly you may want a particular bot, as this week we actually have a lot of very handy bots one way or another. Metabe for balanced shooting, Rokusho for balanced fighting, Infinitus for the assassin abilities for melee, and of course, in the rare sense that it is needed, Barrel for rebirth. On top of that, with this week's Fierce Battles that were announced, kind of tying into the holiday event, we have FSK-0 Jinban Fairy with a kit of Charge Plant, Double Claw, Flight Legs, and the Snow type leg ability, so much like Aurora Queen. BBS-0 Bastroyer with a kit of Triple Destroy, Sea Legs, and the Adapter leg ability. And then last but not least, SPN-0 Float Spinner with a kit of Melee Trap, Anti-Air, Anti-Sea, and the Float Legs and the Emergency leg ability. So honestly, of the 3 Fierce Battles we have this week, I would have to give the MVP of the week either to Jinban Fairy or Bastroyer, primarily for the fact with Jinban Fairy, you have access to high-speed Flight Legs with Snow type, which gives those Flight Legs an extra edge on the field, especially when it comes to snow terrain being involved, and Charge Plant as well for passive Metaphor Sustain if it is somehow needed in the build but can't quite be fit in. On top of that, Bastroyer also is very handy for Destroy, as it does make it very easy and very clear to anyone that you might be fighting, shields are definitely not an option, because the moment it goes up, it's showtime, and you can break it down just as quick as it goes up. And then of course the Sea Leg with Adapter means that Bastroyer is going to have adaptability and pretty much A rank on all terrains, much like a Float Leg could. So honestly, those 2 I would give as the Fierce Battles of the week that you're going to farm if you are going to farm any of them outside of the event. Float Spinner I would farm mostly for the sake of having her for completion. As for the event itself that was announced, it is a holiday-based event that we can challenge for special rewards such as the Christmas skin of Ibuki, who we met in Story Mode Arc 4 of the main story mode for the game. We also can get a hold of the Ice Medal as shown here, and as well as a brand new model, FIR-0 Merry Tree, among other rewards. And something else to note that has been brought to my attention with the Ice Medal, it is the second medal currently in the game with a Metaforce that changes the terrains. Very likely in this case with it being Snow type, which will give an extra edge to particular bots being highlighted this week, such as Jinban Fairy or Aurora Queen, where that Snow type ability may come in handy. And during this event, if you find that you're running kind of low on bots that may or may not have it, I do also want to toss Snow Fenrir, WLF01, as another possibility who does have it. As for the event itself, it will be ticket-based, so much like the Ultraman collaboration was, mixed parts will be encouraged, and pure sets not as much, so simply having a part equipped that gives you a bonus will trigger that bonus for that particular bot. So in the case of, say, Metal Eater, if you were able to pick him up last week, equipping one of his parts on a particular build in the team will grant you a +2 bonus, and then of course you can stack the Metarotters on top of that for an additional bonus. Right now it looks like Pigeon Blood will be the highest bonus for the red tickets, followed by Merry Tree, the event reward, and then of course Metal Eater, Rokusho, and Infinitus for the +2 as the spotlights, and Jinban Fairy #1 as the fierce battle. The blue tickets, we do have Aurora Queen leading the pack at the +5 bonus, so it does seem kind of apparent and obvious that female bots may be the best recommended for auto-farming this event. On top of that, for the +2 bonuses, we have Deer Stage, Metabee, Saint Nurse, and Theodora Barrel for the +2 bonus, and then, of course, Bastroyer and Float Spinner for the +1, excluding Metarotter bonus. So again, this event is ticket-based, much like the Ultraman collaboration, so using one part of the highlighted set or sets per part or per bot would be highly encouraged more than pure sets this time around. On top of the event that was highlighted, they did announce that the diamond currency that they've announced and teased will be going towards the alternate skins you can buy in the convenience store will be going live this week. There will be also a rework to the Gacha Banner pity to now implement this currency, in addition to now being able to purchase it in the convenience store. So if you were still looking for rubies or these diamonds now to get a hold of those special skins, now's your chance to do so if you have some cash to spare. Or now you can collect it passively as you see and as you make attempts in Gacha Banners from here forward. It has also been mentioned that they will be reworking the Row Battle Pass subscription rewards to also include these rubies. So if anyone is currently on the Row Battle Pass, you can further expect additional rewards to include this new currency. In addition to all this, we do also want to touch base on the Ori Meta Contest that has been going live for a couple days now. That was announced from the official Medarot S and Imagineer pages. It is currently an ongoing Twitter contest that'll be going from 12/9 to 1/4, so pretty much through the holiday season, where artists and fans and fellow Metarotters can submit concepts for KBT and KWG, so Rhino Beetle and Stag Beetle types, to potentially be highlighted as a brand new and canon bot in the Medarot Reloaded manga. I highly suspect that they probably will put an emphasis on KWG types as a particular thought and preference, very likely to offset and serve as a counterpart to the KBT we already have, KBT 13 Tornado Beetle. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you are looking for more information, you can find that on their Twitter page or a link that someone else shares for more information on maybe even other submissions that have already been sent up to this point. One other thing I would like to bring to you guys' attention, as you guys can hear from the BGM behind me, it is not my normal background music, primarily because I am highlighting the fact that on this day, 20 years ago, Medarot 5 first made its release as a public game to join the mainstream Medarot titles up to that point. So I may not have played Medarot 5 all the way through, but it does have a lot of bots that are personal favorites of mine, such as, for instance, Crotojill, and Shinzon, of course. So I do want to take a moment to shout out for Medarot 5 in this case, as something to keep an eye on and basically honor it on this day in history. for those that have not quite remembered or maybe have forgotten. On the Project Rising Beetle front, we are still continually looking for translators for the Medarot Reloaded and the Medarot 3 translation projects, so if you have any knowledge of coding, cleaning, or Japanese and have some time on your hands, we would love any kind of effort or feedback that you'd be willing to offer. And if you are curious on what we need to do, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or join our community in the link provided in the comments below, and we can get you in touch with the right people to get you up to speed on what needs done and what still needs to be worked on. But aside from all this, I believe that about covers it for this week's episode. So I do appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you would like to know more, you can follow us below at the Medarot News Network page and the Metabots Forever communities on Facebook. We have quite a following and community there, and the page on there on Facebook is definitely picking up some steam. You can also follow us on Discord at the link provided to Project Rising Beetle's official Medarot server to keep up to date and keep an even closer ear to the ground on everything Medarot related news-wise, both for the game and just in general. You can also follow me personally on Twitter at IsagamiKura, so if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, my DMs are always open for any suggestions or feedback, and even potentially to continually improve the quality of videos from here going forward, especially now with the overhaul and the introduction of my live 2D model. Do give these fine folks a follow as well. Sylvalion at Sylvalion041 on Twitter, a fantastic Medarot artist who does a lot of amazing fan art, both Medarot and otherwise, and has been a very big highlight in a number of contests that Imagineer and Medarot in general has submitted thus far. Also give Tiyuga3 a follow on Twitter. Tiyuga is one of the official artists for Medarot, so always a lot of fantastic art on his profile, and always great to see his art officially in-game too, as he also was interviewed fairly recently for the Medarot Day 24th anniversary. So I do want to give a shout out to Tiyuga as well, as one of the big names behind what makes the series so great. But aside from all this, thanks again for stopping by, folks. It always is great to have you in for a visit. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.